We are coming at you. And you know what? I was going to start the show like it's so cold, but you know what? It's like cold on one side of the country. Thank you, Canada. And it's burning on the other side of the country, which is the scariest thing like I've ever seen because I love California. I've always wanted to move there. We've had guests from California, and what's happening out there is really, really frightening. My heart goes out to everyone there. Anything that we can do, I know there's great resources, Music Cares. Let's do what we can to kind of support our industry in LA, which it's never going to be the same, which is really, really frightening. But today we're going to talk to our Canadian friends who's sending us all this cold air. So I actually should be angry, but I can't. I love her so much. I do. So to Canada, we're going to Shalaine. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. Are you guys cold, or are you just sending us all your cold air?
We were cold like last week, and so now we're done with it, so we're sending it down to you.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
You're welcome.
I can't. I don't know. I never was good with cold, and I don't know how you guys do it up there. I don't know. You're in Alberta.
All the bugs die when it gets cold, so that's how I like it.
You just like killing bugs. There you go.
Right. I just don't like bugs just in general. So
that's why I can never move to Florida.
No.
It is bug central all the time.
Yeah.
We got comments. Let's see. Someone else likes bugs. Oh, Billy's watching. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hey, Billy.
How are you? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, bug central. And where else it's really bad? I have a lot of friends and fan bases in New Zealand. And the bugs are like huge. Like,
no thanks. No thanks. Well, yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. So when we were in Atlanta for the ISSA awards, I have never heard what a cicada beetle or bug or whatever they are. I've never heard what they sound like. So we're sitting around the fire and you can hear them like chirping in the trees. And I kept on asking everybody, like, what bug or what bird is that? Like, what bird is chirping over there? And they all looked at me like I had 3 heads. And I was like, I don't understand what the joke is. Like, what's the joke? And they were like, it's the cicada. And I was like, what? So anyways.
That was a fun song circle, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh. It was amazing. Every night we did that. It was just like, it was magic.
Yeah.
It was magic.
Can't wait. You and I are up again for awards.
Yes. Congratulations.
So no, and I tell all my artist friends, I don't compete with anyone.
No.
I want my music to be competitive and of good quality and stuff like that. But I cheer for everyone,
Absolutely.
So
no, I think that was probably my favorite part. So I, when I was down there, I was lucky enough to get Songwriter of the Year in the international category, and I just like, it was lovely to be able to win, but at the same time, the connections and the people that I met over the course of the couple of days that I was there, that was the true gift. That was really, really, really where the magic laid. Like, it's great that I got to bring home a little piece of crystal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I would stay at the host hotel every year because of the magic that happens every night and all day and all night. It's something that is just it's magical. The aura, everybody's energy is fantastic. It's where you need to be.
And they had the international singer-songwriters, for those of us who are just joining in. It's just this massive organization that keeps growing every other year. There's very little support for indie artists. If you have a label, they're throwing money at you, they're promoting you. We are jack of all trades, and we can be very isolated, and feel like you're alone doing this. And then along comes the International Singer-Songwriter Association, which has all these resources for us, ways to network, and they actually give us awards, and recognize indie artists, which again, there's no Emmy or Grammy or Golden Gold. We're not gonna win, like
not today, anyways.
well, not today anyway. There are some artists who started out with labels and then went indie and won, but nobody just slugging it out. So and it's great to be in a room with like-minded people, and the song circles and the sharing of stories and support and camaraderie, and again with the women in the industry, because I'm sorry, but women have a whole different struggle than I think guys.
Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree. And there's unfortunately the percentage or the balance of women to men is so off, and it's really unfortunate. And it's so much harder for us to get the recognition or the tools that we need to be successful. It is. I feel like we fight a lot harder for.
I do. Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, if you look at venues and how many men, the guys, the girls that are booked.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm a little older than you. Then I remember a time on the radio. I'm not going there. I remember a time on the radio when you didn't hear two female songs in a row ever.
Yeah.
We've grown.
Yes.
But
thank goodness.
There's still so many more male and female songs that are being played. I love Beyonce. I love Taylor Swift for breaking those norms, and hopefully, get easier and easier. But the struggle is real.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. And it's also like I also love Beyonce and Taylor Swift, but it's also they're casting a very, very large shadow.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a machine behind Taylor Swift since she was 15 when she moved to Nashville.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's been working with hit makers from the time she was 15.
Yeah.
And I've actually worked with one of her old managers, Rick Barker. I've had some mentoring sessions with him. And Beyonce is just a juggernaut, like at this point. And I'm like, I don't even know. Like, she has a separate category. Like,
she is. She's an untouchable.
Yes, she is. Mm-hmm. And she'll be the first to tell you that. So
yeah. Right. So true.
Yeah. So let's talk about your music. Let's talk music here. Okay, all kinds of stuff. I think our first song up is Silver and Gold.
Ooh.
Bling bling.
That's fun. Okay, well, I'll tell you guys a little bit about Silver and Gold. So Silver and Gold is a song that I wrote about my grandpa. And so my experiences with my grandpas, unfortunately, are limited because my one grandpa passed away when I was 9, and then the other one passed away when I was 18. So, I mean, I did have more time with my other grandpa, but so I definitely had to pull from experiences from my husband. And talking to other people about their experiences with their grandpa. And so I just wanted to write a wholehearted song about our grandpas, and I hope that when you listen to it that you think of your grandpa too. And it's so cool. So I have 2 kids. I have a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, and it is so magical seeing my dad now being grandpa. Like, it is so it's just such a cool experience, because he was when we were younger, he drove a propane truck, and he's always been a truck driver, so he's always gone most of the day and part of the night, kind of thing. And so we never really he wasn't around a lot. And so then now he's around a lot, and getting to see who he actually is, and creating a relationship with him, and then seeing him being grandpa to my kids, it's magical. So I hope that's what you think of.
Well, it's interesting how relationships change from dad to grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
They're like different people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even mom to grandma.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The role is, there's no disciplinarian, there's no do your homework. It's like, I'm just coming in, and it's a magical relationship a lot of times. I don't
And
think.
it's quite interesting for my relationship with my dad. He was my drummer for quite a number of years as well, and so that was also a separate part of our relationship that I'm so thankful for. So it just makes it even more special to see him doing all that fun stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I lost my grandparents. My grandfather is very young.
Yeah.
As well. I remember my one grandfather, but not the other. So it is kind of a special. So why silver and gold?
Well, the hook in it is he had silver in his hair and gold in his heart.
Let's listen for that. All right, silver and gold.
He was one hell of a dancer, spun me around like we were floating. I felt so safe in his arms. 6'1", tall and handsome, knew all the words to all the oldies, and he could sure turn on his charm. Only meet a man like that maybe once in your life, and the only thing better than being his wife, I got to call him Grandpa. Well, he was firm and he was kind, never had to guess what was on his mind. Tobacco filled the air when he was near. He taught me things like a grandpa could, unconditional love like a grandpa should. He's the reason I love to play the soul guitar. He had silver in his hair, gold in his heart. He was never too busy to take me fishing, always had time to build a birdhouse. There was nothing he couldn't do. Friday nights around a campfire, beer and bourbon fueled the playlist. I could have listened all night through. Maybe once in a life you'll meet a man like that. His love will be the memory I will always start at. Well, he was firm and he was kind, never had to guess what was on his mind. Tobacco filled the air when he was near. He taught me things like a grandpa could, unconditional love like a grandpa should. He's the reason I love to play the soul guitar. He had silver in his hair, and gold in his heart. He taught me things like a grandpa could, unconditional love like a grandpa should. And how I wish I could watch him play his old guitar. He had silver in his hair and gold
All right, and we are back on the ranch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one stop for indie artists. If you haven't checked them out, you really need to do that. Even if you want to find new music, go to Blast Music 24/7. You can find some really great stuff. They're a great supporter of indie artists. Also, Indie Music Radio out of France, all our friends in Europe. Really glad to have you on board and listening. We are in Canada today because they sent us all their cold air down here in the States. Shalaine Stebner, fellow ISA member. How you doing? Oh, with the good grandpa. We were just hanging out with grandpa. What a sweet song.
Thank you. One cool thing is that my dad actually got to play the drums on that recording. So that was
No
also
way.
super, super special. Yeah.
So you come from a musical family?
Yeah. Yeah. So my dad has always been in a band since he was probably mid-teens. He was in a band with his buddies when I was little, and so they would always practice in our basement because we had the biggest basement. And so yeah, so there was always music going on, and he was always the drummer. He also does background vocals, even though we ask him not to. But so yeah, so when I started playing live and needed a drummer, obviously my go-to was my dad. And at the beginning of last year, he asked if he could take a little step back because he's 68 and getting sore his shoulders, and he wasn't recovering as easy as he used to. So I gave him that grace, and I got a new drummer. And every once in a while he steps in because my drummer lives in Texas. So he can't be up in Canada all the time.
Right.
But yeah, so it definitely it just levels up the specialness of it.
It does. And Billy liked the song a lot.
Oh,
He
thanks,
thought it was
Billy.
very rich. It was very, very rich is a good word.
That
That's
is.
a good word, Billy. I like that. Very rich. So you come with a musical family. Why country?
Oh, I've always been country. Always.
Not
There's
even a
never
choice.
Not even for a second. I mean, I take influence from all genres. I don't think that there's necessarily any genre that I wouldn't give a listen to. But when you strip it all down, I mean, music is just music. But I definitely have always gravitated towards country. It's just ingrained in me so deeply, and not for anything that my parents ever did. But they influence you to a certain extent. But I just the when I first started singing when I was really little, it was Patsy Cline. And you just when you start there, how do you go away from it, right? My
Right.
grandma gave me some Patsy Cline cassette tapes, and she said, "You learn these," and I said, "Yes, ma'am."
Awesome, Graham. I love her.
Yes, yeah, she was amazing.
I love that. I love that. Is again, we are spanning the globe to bring you the best Americana music. A lot of country music in Canada, where you are, Alberta.
Yeah, I would say it's mostly country music. We do have a few pop artists. I mean, you'll find more pop the farther east you go, but it's definitely in Alberta, and I think in Saskatchewan and partially Manitoba as well. It's pretty much country through and through. I live right kind of smack dab in between Edmonton and Calgary, and Calgary is
Ah,
quite country, and Edmonton is quite EDM. And so it's very interesting going to different when they put on seminars. Going to a seminar in Edmonton is so different than going to a seminar in Calgary, just because even the people that they bring on for speakers, it's a totally different genre, just because
in what way? In what way different?
well, because Edmonton is EDM, so more electronic, more industrial music.
Oh,
And so I think I try to go to as much as I possibly can, because I do think that each genre can teach you something, right?
mhm.
And I was just on a call yesterday, and we were talking about drummers and jazz music. And you don't have to like jazz, but jazz will teach you the
Ugh.
the beats, and you will get the counts and everything, because jazz is so structured. So even if you don't want to play jazz, jazz is a wonderful place to start to improve your skills. And so I think that every genre can teach us something. And you just kind of pull a little bit of everything and try to make something work for yourself. And so for me, it's always been country. I've
Always been
always
country.
loved singing about love and loss and all that good stuff. And I always got a twang.
Always been twanging. Billy wants to know about Woolerton. What kind of music is in Woolerton? I don't know where that
I
is.
don't know where that is, but I'm sure it's great.
I have a funny story. I was in Cabo a few years ago.
Ooh,
Cabo San Lucas in Mexico.
yes.
And apparently, a lot of people in Edmonton, it's a straight shoot to go to Cabo.
Yes.
So everyone in Cabo was from Edmonton.
Yes.
I'm surprised that it's electronic like that. I would have thought it was more country, but just by the people I met. But everyone there worked on the pipeline.
Yeah.
And then I met a few people who were from the Northwest Territory, diamond mines.
Mm.
Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
That's craziness. You
Yeah.
contract like a cruise to work on the diamond mines because it's a city underground. And they won't let you out of the city because there's such tight screening to get in, right? And you live there for how long your contract is, make a boatload of money, get totally screened, x-rayed, and everything else when you leave, so
It is definitely a different lifestyle, that's for sure. I'll go back. Woolerton, I just remembered that's where they filmed Corner Gas. So I think it's in Saskatchewan. It's just it's a really Canadian comedy.
what is it?
It's called Corner Gas, and it's just about this little gas station in the middle of nowhere in a field, and all the shenanigans that go along with it. And it's just super Canadian. So
I'll have to watch it. The only Canadian series I'm really familiar with, there's actually two. Frankie Drake Mysteries.
okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that. Oh yeah, Mindy wants to binge the Corner Gas.
Yes, please do. You'll never feel so Canadian.
And the other one is, I think, Murdoch Mysteries.
Oh, yes, I used to
Canadian.
watch Murdoch Mysteries with my grandma. After we watched MASH and Murder, She Wrote.
I don't watch it. I just know it's Canadian. I've caught a couple because there's a steampunk element to Murdoch Mysteries.
Yeah.
That's fun. Oh, you've already seen it, Mindy, and you like it. Oh,
yeah.
See, she likes Corner Gas, so she's recommending the Canadian series. There you go. See, we get you down here.
Now you know what you're going to do this weekend. You have your weekend plans.
Oh, Billy has seen it too. I just obviously the one missing it. I'm left out here.
You're behind on the times. Get more Canadian. Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on
Get
now.
it all down. The little Fargo.
Come on, y'all.
I do maple syrup.
Oh, I love maple syrup. I don't have a maple syrup tree in my backyard, but
You don't? I
No.
thought you all did.
No, we don't.
It sounds like it's work though. You got to tap it and at the right time.
Yeah.
It does seem like a work, labor of love.
I'll just buy it.
I know, me too. But I do buy the real deal. I won't buy not Aunt Jemima anymore. What is it called? I don't know.
I don't even know what it's called.
They renamed it. Now I'm lost. But the brand formerly known as.
Yes.
I'm being politically incorrect right now. Don't report me. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I'm on Facebook. I'm allowed to say anything I want now.
Anything.
I'm totally unstructured. I'm just going wild here.
They can't fact check you anymore, so it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter. You can say anything. And YouTube's the opposite. They just keep shutting you down and copyright. You say that to money, but copyright. We're gonna shut your show down. It's a wild west out there, people. It
is wild.
Wild west. Social media. It's ridiculous. I don't know. Everyone's going to Blue Sky, and I'm like, I don't know if that's any better. They're all like,
what is Blue Sky?
Blue Sky, after our election, there was such a big backlash with social media that a lot of the blue
right.
Got off of Twitter and Facebook and some of the others and went to a site called Blue Sky.
Okay.
Which is a lot friendlier towards that demographic. I'm on there. I'll throw it on there. We can go on our rants and be among friends.
Yes.
So
it's just another platform.
It's another one, and I can't keep up with the ones I'm already on.
Right.
I'm really not happy with the direction of Facebook. He made a 180 with the new incoming president here, and it's disturbing. So I don't know how Canadians, if anyone in Canada is paying attention. I think Trump wants to take you guys over.
Well, we're going to be the new Can America. And then you guys can have Mex America.
Yeah, Mex America.
All the Americas.
Yeah, bring them all together. North, south, east.
Yeah, sure.
It's one big happy
American family.
We're a happy family. We're a happy family.
That'll be good for our dollar because our dollar sucks. So
how much better ours is. I think it's a little better than the pound right now. Is it better than the pound? Does anyone out there know how strong
Canadian conversion from US to or from Canadian to US is like maybe it's 0.7 now. It's bad. Ooh. It was 0.62 for a little while too. It's bad.
Yeah, that is. Why would we want you guys? Your dollars. I guess he likes maple syrup. I don't even know.
We're the stepchild that just comes along.
You guys are nice and friendly. I think you'll think it's going to be easy.
All right.
He mistakes niceness for weakness. That's a mistake, but. Right. It's a mistake. All right, let's do music again. Let's go back to music before I get myself in more trouble. Everyone needs a good breakup song. So talk to me about inspiration for When You Were Mine.
Ooh, so this one is not a breakup song.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No, so When You Were Mine. So this one I wrote for a friend. Her husband was killed in a really awful accident, and so this is it's the tag is Take Me Back to When You Were Mine. So it's just like I know that there's a lot of times where we lose somebody suddenly, and you don't have time to prepare for it. Lots of times you do have time because whether it's a certain diagnosis or whatever, but there's a lot of times when you have no idea when the last time will be the last time that you say I love you or whatever you're going to say. And so after her husband was killed, you just take that pain and that sorrow and that sadness and you turn it into something beautiful. And she played that song every morning for her and sat on her front porch and looked out into the sky and for pretty much for a whole year, I would say she's the one that got my Spotify listens up. But yeah, so it's not a breakup song. It definitely is a sad song, but it just you just never know when the last time is going to be the last time. So
it's about loss. And even breakups or you lose somebody, there's that sense of loss and emptiness that you now have to fill and restructure your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
To some degree. You know, you thought your life was going to be this way, you know, for a long, long time. And then in a heartbeat, it shifts and it changes.
Yeah.
And you do what you can to get through it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And music's a great one for that.
It is. It is.
So let's listen to When You Were Mine.
Never got to spend forever with you, but you spent your forever with me. Now I'm left to pick up all the pieces of what's left of our meant to be. And I don't wanna learn to live without you. We were in the middle of writing our love story, but he had other plans for you. But oh God, what I wouldn't give to write just another chapter or two. Take me back to when you were mine. Take me back to when you were mine. It showed me that I was worthy of love, and you did it so selflessly. You taught me how to love myself, and I feel so lucky. But I don't wanna learn to live without you. We were in the middle of writing our love story, but he had other plans for you. But oh God, what I wouldn't give to write just another chapter or two. Take me back to when you were mine. Take me back to when you were mine. Your smile, your eyes, the sound of your voice, my pain, my tears, this was not a choice. And I don't wanna learn to live without you. We were in the middle of writing our love story, but he had other plans for you. But oh God, what I wouldn't give to write just another chapter or two. Take me back to when you were mine. Take me back to when you were mine. Take me back to when you were mine.
And we are back on the ranch, brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your stop for indie music. Whether you're listening to music, whether you want to find music, or every indie artist should be on there. Also to our friends at my indie music radio coming out of France, our friends there are listening. So glad you're tuning in. Billy really liked that song. He thought it was a tearjerker, touched his soul. It was very sweet, very sad. It really makes you think and reflect.
Mm-hmm.
Although I am craving pancakes now. Why is
Comfort food. It's a comfort food.
with tons of maple syrup? I know, like
We tend to do that. Sorry.
I know, and it's too cold for ice cream. So I'm like,
Oh,
pancakes.
it's never too cold for ice cream.
I passed it by today, but I was going to the Cheesecake Factory. Full disclosure. So
Perfect.
I did not choose wisely. There are 43 flavors at the Cheesecake Factory, and mine was, you know, just stuck with my tried and true. But I thought it would be nice to try something new, and now I know why I keep going to the same thing over and over.
We're always told that you're supposed to try new things, and then we try new things, and it's like,
why did I try new things?
I think we only have to do that when we're little. Once we get a little bit older, then we don't have to try anything new.
Right. I told you right now, I'm not eating any lima
Yeah.
beans ever again. I don't have to do it. And no, oh, they do this with eggplant. Oh, but you like the way I made it. No, I won't. I don't like it. It's mushy and gross. Don't put it on my plate. Don't tell me I'm gonna like it. I'm not. There, I'm calling it. Don't do it.
I'm proud of you.
Taking a stand right now. I'm being a rebel tonight. I'm just like dishing on everything. What's the deal?
I'm here for it.
Shalaine, you're bringing out my inner rebel down here in the States. What is that?
I don't know. It's a talent.
There you go. Of course. So have you been playing out a lot? Shalaine, what are you up to?
So I this winter has been slower, which I am thankful for because the summer was absolutely nuts. I mean, we were 2, 3, 4 shows a weekend. And I also own a salon, so I'm a hairdresser as well. So I was behind the chair 4 days a week and playing and, hopefully finding time to pat my children on the head and spend some quality time with my husband, which was very minimal. So I'm definitely relishing in the slowdown part of it all. I did get to I don't know what your guys' stadium is down there, but so where our hockey players play, ours is called Rogers Place. And so I got to play at Rogers Place during one of the intermissions of a hockey game, and that was amazing. It was such a cool experience. It was cold. Holy moly, was it ever cold? Because you're so close to the ice, and they got to keep it nice and cold. And I was not anticipating to be so dang cold. But you just play the guitar fast and then it's fine.
Yeah, but it wreaks havoc on the tuning and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely it made things exciting. And then so we just finished that, and then coming up February 2nd, we are going to be going to White Rock, BC. It's just along the coast, and I get to we're putting on with Big Records. We're putting on fundraiser. It's called Vet Stock. And so we're raising money for veterans because the following week is when the Invictus Games begin out there. And so that is the Wounded Warrior and Veteran Olympics. And so we get to do a lovely little fundraiser. We've got some absolutely phenomenal musicians coming. I know you had Miss Tara Kai on there a little bit earlier, so she's going to be there. Mr. Tim Steinreck is going to be there. He's so handsome.
Tim's amazing. He's just a great person. I love him.
I
I
have the
love it.
biggest girl crush on him ever, and I just love him. Like, and he's got his like burly beard and everything, and you just like sit there and you could just like watch him all day. Like, I just love him,
I
and he just
actually asked him to be on the show, and he's like, Randie, I'm really hard rock. And I'm like, I know.
that's
You
okay.
can have one country song. And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right, you know.
Please, come on, come
Just
on.
come on, we'll have a
I'll do
talk.
a duet with him, and then we'll get him that way.
All right, we'll get him that way.
We'll get him. Don't
We'll
you worry.
convert him. We'll convert him.
We'll convert him. Yeah, so that's going to be absolutely fantastic. We're going to fly out and then spend some time out there and do some absolutely fantastic work with veterans and so we're playing at the Legion number 8 in White Rock. And if anybody wants tickets, if you are in White Rock, you can buy a in-person ticket. But also, if you're all over the world, we're streaming it live. So you can just go to my Facebook page, just search for Shalaine Stebner Music, and then you'll find the link on there, and then you can buy a ticket to the virtual viewing party, and it's only $10, and it goes back to the veterans.
Right. So you actually might see some other people that we've had on the show, which is amazing. Tim is a great performer. I mean, he commands a stage. He's a study right there. He's really, really good.
When he came out when he closed out ISA with the Mighty One, if you didn't love him yet, man, it was just like
right.
He just rocks.
What was it? Jerry Seinfeld. They did this thing where this guy was trying to produce a song and he wanted a hit. And this one guy, I'm introducing this really badly. And it's, a hit when you hear it, no matter what genre.
Yeah.
Right. And his stuff is just so well produced and so energetic and so powerful. It's just great stuff, no matter, what genre, and this kid was trying to play something and it just wasn't good. And he's like, kid, it's not a hit. He's like, well, make it a hit. He's like, it's not. And then he heard something else and he goes, no, that's a hit. And it was just this really offbeat, totally different genre song. But I believe it was Jerry Seinfeld episode. But that's the name of the song. But he's fun to watch. He's really fun to watch. So he's a judge this year. So
Tim is
because he's a gold winner. Yeah. So he's going to be judging.
I thought you were going to say Jerry Seinfeld was a judge.
Oh, sorry.
This is news to me.
I know. I was just a finalist in an American songwriting competition, and some really cool people like Trent Reznor and a bunch of other people like heard my song, and I'm like, and they had amazing. It was honorable mention. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah,
congratulations. So, like,
that's just a pat on the back to say, like, you know what, we're doing. The things in our heart mean something to someone.
Yeah.
And that is probably the coolest thing, because when you're in a songwriting competition, and even with the award that I had received, it's just a really good reminder that it has nothing to do with the production. It has nothing to do with the musicians. It is just the words, and those are from our heart, and that's our soul that we put on the paper. And so it's quite spectacular too. And definitely, I feel like before, I maybe had a little bit of imposter syndrome, because it's like, you don't maybe feel necessarily like you belong to stand with all of the others at the table, right? And it's just a great reminder that everybody's welcome at the table.
But I love the stories, and I've won like songwriting awards, but the best stories I hear are like the one where your friend listened to that song every morning and it touched her and it helped her through something. Yeah. And I had another person like, because of you, because of Olivia, I'm now going after someone who abused me. And I'm like, oh my God, like,
yes.
Like knowing that a song touched somebody.
Yeah.
It's the most rewarding feeling that you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. I love when people come up after a show and they tell me um how they related to the song. It's the best. It really
Yes.
honestly is. I don't know, do you have As Strong as Your Daddy on in the queue?
No,
I don't think I said
Brenda.
it. Okay, so I'll just tell you a little bit about As Strong as Your Daddy, and then I'll tell you about Brenda.
Okay.
So the reason that I'm telling you this is because it has a really cool story to it. So the song that I wrote, my husband got laid off during COVID, and so then
Ooh.
he kind of hit a very low point in his life, and I wasn't sure how he was going to get out of it. And luckily he did, but our son was quite young, and so I wrote it as if my husband had completed suicide, and I wrote it as a love song to my son about how you don't have to be strong. You don't have to, you don't have to be all the things that people say, like a man is this and a man is that. And it's like, that's like, throw that to the dogs. Like, that doesn't matter. If you are feeling this way, it's allowed. You don't have to pretend, you don't have to be strong. And so I was playing that down in Calgary in a park a couple years ago. And so I always preface that song with a story. And afterwards, I was, going around talking to people, and there's quite a large homeless community down in Calgary,
Mm.
and they're more than welcome to come and sit and listen, right? And so I went and sat with one of the gentlemen, and he was telling me that, that was his story, and that was his family, and he ended up losing them, and because he had got laid off, and then lost his sense of purpose, and then ended up homeless. And it's just a really wonderful reminder that we are literally one choice away from this or this, and everybody is on a different path. And I think that the most important thing to remind everybody is that you all matter, and that I would rather you struggle beside me
Mm.
than to not, right? So
Right, right,
so
right.
that is those are the kinds of stories that I never would have heard that if I hadn't gone and sat down with him, and he cried, and I felt so sorry for him, but at the same time, we all make a choice. So anyways, that's that story. But let's switch to Brenda now.
Yes,
Let's
speak
get
to
up.
Brenda.
Let's switch to Brenda. So
This is a fun
my
one.
this is a good one. So my girlfriend, whose name is also Brenda, came to me one day and she said, "There's not enough songs about women named Brenda." And I was like, "You're right. There's lots of other women songs, but there's no songs about Brenda." And I had this kind of concept in the back of my mind where the woman, her husband is cheating on her, so she decides to leave him, and whatever, and that's a pretty generic storyline, but I needed to figure out a great hook, and figure out how to incorporate my sassiness, and so I feel like we did pretty well with this one. It made it to number 2 on the Canadian Indie Country Countdown, which is phenomenal. So yeah, this song is a good fun one. So if you feel like dancing and shaking your booty and two-stepping, this is a good one to do that too.
All right, let's do step. Brenda.
Brenda liked to drink red wine and smoke Marlboro Light. She kept the house real tidy in the kitchen every night. Her husband had a tendency of spending late nights at the bar, spent his entire paycheck one night and crashed the car. Well, Brenda got real sick of spending all her nights alone, so she packed her bags, wrote out a note saying, "This house ain't my home. You've been cheating, you've been lying, you've been drinking, I've been crying. I ain't gonna spend one more tear on you. I've done hurting, I've done trying. You're still flirting, there's no denying all the stupid stuff you put me through. Well, you ain't messing with my heart no more." She left the cigarette in the ashtray and the wine spilled on the floor. Hey! 10 miles down the road, Brenda turned that car around. She needed some closure before she headed out of town. She knew where he'd be at by the charges on his card. She saw him do a shot with the top on at the he would ever cheat on her. She said, you've been cheating, you've been lying, you've been drinking, I've been crying. I ain't gonna spend one more tear on you. I'm done hurting, I'm done trying. You're still flirting, there's no denying all the stupid stuff you put me through. Well, you ain't messing with my heart no more. She left the cigarette in the ashtray and the wine spilled on the floor. Hey! Well, that cigarette lit the house on fire and burned it to the ground. She smiled as she passed the fire truck and headed out of town. You've been cheating, you've been lying, you've been drinking, I've been crying. I ain't gonna spend one more tear on you. I'm done hurting, I'm done trying. You're still flirting, there's no denying all the stupid stuff you put me through. Well, you ain't messing with my heart no more. No, you ain't messing with my heart no more. She left the cigarette in the ashtray and the wine spilled on the floor.
And we are back on the ranch, brought to you by Blast Music 24/7 and coming at you from Indie Music Radio. If you want to be on the ranch, really easy to do. Shalaine, it's not hard. Although I've gotten 4 forms today and no one did it right. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh no.
And I've heard my rant. Just send me 3 videos you want to promote. 3. That's it. Send me the links. That's it. But you have to fill out the form at randieoneil.com/shows. Randie's RANDIEONEIL. Fill out the form correctly, and I'll get you on the show. I'll put you to the top of the list. I can't believe. I don't know what's going on. It's something in the water. It's the cold air. I don't even know. But I don't want to turn you away because you didn't follow directions and you sent me a Facebook link instead of a video. Like, anyway, I'm over it. Some great artists. We're here every Monday night listening to some great music and talking to some great indie folks. My heart, you guys. Love you guys. So, Brenda, that was a fun one. I like that. I like the sass. You know?
Yes, I embody sass.
Yep. I haven't watched that. I don't get too snarky. I have to channel my inner snarky. What's going on? Oh. My friend's busting my chop. Why does that matter? Oh, anyway. You can fill out a form. You don't need a doctorate degree to fill out a form, people. He's busting my chops. You don't need it. Anyway, continuing on. No, I like the sass, and I have to watch it so that I don't get like too snarky. But I like all right, you're lying, cheating, now I'm crying, but I'm gonna stand up and do something about it. You know?
Yeah. Don't
keep us down.
Absolutely.
I like the spirit, but I just think cheaters are insidious. Like, I'm actually working on a song now about guys who are married hitting on. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's skeevy and it's hurtful and it's wrong on so many levels. So I'm trying not to be too venomous, but
it's hard sometimes. Especially when the topics, light you up,
Yeah.
When you get a little angry, and then that's when the good stuff is written. So write it out and then we'll proofread it afterwards.
And I'll take it to my producer and go, we gotta tone this sucker down. Like,
yeah. We're gonna cross out all the swear words.
People, you want to know what a producer does? Right there. Right there. Get some of the venom out. I had one. And it started out as kind of a love song. I'm falling in love. I don't know if you're falling in love with me. But then he did me really wrong.
Ugh.
And the song became this like hard edge rocker. And I'm like, dude, Tony Down, he's like, lose that line. We're going to like listen to Williams this one out. We're going slow. And I'm like, oh God. That's what a producer, that's why you pay them big bucks.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. They're like a reality check.
Reality check. That's right. There are mental flaws. So a few minutes left. What's up next for Shalaine?
After we play in White Rock, it's just kind of figuring out some more writing and some more playing. I mean, the summer is starting to get booked up like crazy. So, as silly as it sounds, I kind of have to plan a couple of weekends of holidays in January in order to make sure that I can have a couple weeks of holidays in July or August. So definitely getting a little bit crammed. And then also we'll be back down in Atlanta for ISA again at the end of August. And I get to perform for the after party, which is so fun. I'm so excited. It's going to be an absolute blast. I know when I was there last year, I sat in the crowd watching the after party. So I'm excited to get to participate in it.
I can't wait to see you.
It's going to be amazing.
I hope to be on the stage with you. I have to talk to Tam, Tam and see what's going on. But hopefully we'll be playing this year. I put in for some other stuff. I usually like to have a little tour booked down there, you know, because it's such a long drive. Yeah. You know, if you take all your equipment and everything. So try to book a few shows down there.
Yeah, it does. You do have to make it worth it. That's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you're coming from Canada, you know.
Yeah. I'm lucky enough. Alberta Music they have travel grants for fun things like this. And so every once in a while we get blessed to get a yes when we send in our grant requests. So I luckily this year I get some grant money to lessen the blow to my pocketbook.
I actually put in for one of your grants because I was supposed to play a conference up there.
Yeah.
But I'm not Canadian, so I'm like, I'm playing one of your things, and I might do a workshop. You weren't having it.
No.
Canadians can be mean. I'm just saying.
Can be, yes. We're just sticking to the rules, okay? We're rule followers. We fill out our forms properly and we follow the rules.
Good one, Shalaine. Good one. On that note, I want to thank everyone for joining us here on the ranch where I just got slammed. Really, really good. Bye, Shalaine. Shalaine, I will see you in Atlanta. The rest of you, I will see you back here next Monday, 7. My friends in France, I know you guys are listening on a Thursday, so thank you, Indie Music Radio, for chiming in and playing us. And I will see you next week. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Loved having you.
I'm on the road, don't know where it goes. I'm on a road, follow your heart, it won't let you down. Follow your heart, take the steps, be on your way. Take the steps, when you have a dream, you gotta start. It's the only way if you're gonna shine.